All right, guys, welcome to Kitchen Daddy. This week, we're making a beautiful Argentinian grilled flank steak with chimichurri sauce, which is a heavenly blend of garlic, chili, parsley, oregano, olive oil, red wine vinegar. Guys, this is the bee's knees. So come on, let's get into it. Right, to kick things off, let's grab our flank steak. Now, flank, that comes from the belly, so it's a cheaper cut. It's definitely going to be a lot cheaper than ribeye or things like that. So it's really good if you've got loads of people coming over, you want to cook a big amount of steak, but you know, you don't want to be spending $80, $90 on ribeye for that. So this is when you want to use flank steak for that. It's also got a really good flavor as well. Anyway, now we want to give this a quick marinade in some salt, pepper and olive oil, mix that all together. And we're going to pop that aside whilst we make the chimichurri sauce. Now, chimichurri, it comes from Argentina. And guys, the great news about this is there is no definitive recipe for this. You know, it uses similar ingredients, but people just freestyle it themselves. So let's kick things off with about 6 to 7 cloves of garlic. We just want to crush them, get them into the food processor. Now, I've got 1 jalapeno and 1 serrano for a little bit more heat. Let's just cut them in half, de-seed them, roughly chop them up, and get them into the food processor. I want a good pinch of chili flakes or red pepper flakes. We need some salt and pepper. Now let's add a good splash of red wine vinegar. Again, I'm just giving it a splash at the moment. That's going to help blitz things up, and then we can adjust that to taste when we're finishing the dish off. We need some oregano, so just about that much. Just pick off any large stalks. We don't want any stalks. Some of the thinner ones, they're fine. Let's get them in, and we need a good splash of olive oil. Now let's give that a really good blitz up. Now the reason why I haven't put any herbs in here just yet, and the reason I'm blitzing all of this, is because it gives it a really unique flavor. What you do, you find that the garlic and the chilies and the olive oil, they all emulsify together, which is a bit of a chefy term, but it gives it a really lovely creamy flavor. Okay, that looks great, so let's grab a large bunch of parsley, and we just want to roughly chop that up. Now you could add the parsley to the processor if you wanted to. Personally, I don't like to do that. Sometimes, you know, the leaves can get really bruised, and I prefer to just kind of chop it up nice and roughly, and then this way I've got more control over it. But that makes me a control freak, and you just do whatever is easiest for you, yeah? Okay, let's get all that parsley into a big bowl. We're gonna pour over all that chili and garlic emulsion there. And let's give that a good mix together. Now it's got quite thick there, and chimichurri is quite an oily kind of sauce, so let's add a little bit more olive oil. We're also going to add a splash more red wine vinegar as well, so we're looking for that beautiful combination of, you know, sharpness from the vinegar, lots of heat and flavor from the chilies and the garlic. Let's move that around, and again, just try and get everything really well combined. Check the seasoning, add a little bit more salt and pepper if necessary. And once it kind of looks like that, that is going to be fantastic. Now, for those of you who've been following for the past month, if you remember, got that big box of almond wood. Well, we're down to our last 2 logs. So I've got them on. The fire is really scorching hot. So let's get our steaks on. Now these flank steaks, they can be quite deceptive because they actually take a little bit longer to cook than you'd actually think, you know, looking at them. The way we're going to cook them, we're going to turn them over every kind of like 2 to 3 minutes. Make sure we keep the lid on there as well. They're going to take about 10, maybe 15 minutes to cook. Again, golden rule, guys, you know, don't rely on timings for things. Prod it with your fingers. You know, when it feels like that, you know it's going to be kind of like medium rare. That's going to be kind of like medium well done. So we want it, you know, kind of like around the medium rare mark, around that. So just keep prodding it with your fingers. That way you're getting more intuitive into cooking steaks rather than trying to follow times. Timings, they're like a guide, but you've got to use your senses. You've got to use your ears and your fingers and your sense of smell to see what's happening with these things. Okay, they look great, so let's get them off and we're gonna leave them uncovered and let them rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. Come and have a look at this, guys. Look at that. Loads of beautiful juice running out of there. Now remember, same rule applies. Grains running this way, so we're going to cut across the grain, okay? So make sure you always cut across the grain. That way it opens it all out. Look at that. Ah, it's beautiful. And look at the way it just all opens out. That is why we cut across the grain, guys. Look at that, guys. Come on. Don't tell me you don't want it. That looks fantastic. You know, I know we've got a little bit of meat there, which is just probably more on the medium well than the medium rare. Who cares? Like, seriously, no, like, it's still going to taste absolutely amazing. But if it really upsets you, get in the comments. I want to know who's pedantic and who's not. Right. Let's give this a lovely, lovely, lovely little taste. Look, I haven't even got a fork. This is terrible. We're going to get some of that lovely chimichurri sauce. You've got to cook it over wood. Guys, that's the golden rule. From here on in, if you're going to cook flank steak like this, got to do it on wood. This is absolutely beautiful. So I was just enjoying, excuse the pause then, I was just enjoying the taste so much. Right, guys, give us a thumbs up, get in the comments, love to hear from you. I am going to enjoy all of it. No, I'm not. See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Whoa, hang on, mate. If you enjoyed this video, I've got 3 options for you. Check out the Kitchen Daddy website over here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel right here, and then check out another Kitchen Daddy video right by here. But why not be a legend and do all 3?